Welcome, ladies. My name is Liz, and this is Shot for Shot, the show where I take a shot for every movie in a beloved franchise and then rank them. Today, I will actually be ranking the 5 movies from the Australian director Baz Luhrmann. You may have seen some of these, but we're going to talk about all of them because, that's the show. Shot number 1. Since all of Baz Luhrmann's movies are really good in their own right, I'm going to be ranking them on a scale from least to most Bazzy.
You like Baz?
You'll see more as we go along, but he has a lot of style choices and directorial decisions that translate over all of his movies, such as dancing, the importance of music, and close-ups. In last place, the least Bazzy film directed by Baz Luhrmann is Australia. As you can see, Baz Luhrmann is a huge proponent of the close-up, and I think he takes inspiration from Sergio Leone, as you can tell by this shot, because the only other man I've been that close to is Clint Eastwood. Music is always really important in Baz Luhrmann's films because he has produced music and usually produces the soundtracks for his movies. So in Australia, the song that ties all of our characters and events together is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Nicole Kidman, everyone! While this movie lacks Baz Luhrmann's trademark spectacle and stylization, it still has a very clear villain, a little bit of dancing, and one word that they say over and over again. In this movie, it's drove, or the drover. The most Baz Luhrmann part of this movie is that it's in Australia, and that's about it. I forgot to say that Australia is a sweeping, romantic epic prior to World War II, and there's romance and drama. It's actually the number 2 highest grossing Australian film, followed by Happy Feet. Up next, the 4th most Bazzy film that Baz Luhrmann has directed is his debut film, Strictly Ballroom. Shot number 2. This movie is kind of like an Australian Dirty Dancing. There's a ballroom dancer who wants to dance his own dance, and then there's a woman, and they fall in love. I honestly really, really like this movie, and it's a new go-to rom-com for me. How Bazzy is it? Well, don't worry, we have the close-ups. Look at them. We got so many close-ups. They keep going. Oh, look how close they are. They're so close. This movie is the right amount of bizarre for me.
Will be retiring because of commitments to his landscape gardening business.
The fruity rumba.
It would be a lot easier to understand if I spoke Australian, though. Obviously, this movie very much delivers on the dancing front, and actually, Baz Luhrmann used to be a ballroom dancer when he was younger. It's not my birthday. I don't know why I'm getting all this cake.
I thought that was good.
I'm honestly way too lonely to watch this movie. A repeated word for this movie is Fran.
Fran. Who?
Fran.
Incredible. This movie is higher up than Australia because of this scene. It's like this hyper-realistic German expressionism flashback. If you don't know anything about German expressionism, just take my word for it, huh? This movie is classic 90s rom-com. She literally takes off her glasses and her hair becomes less frizzy and her acne clears up and they fall in love. We have some classic twists and some nice montages. The only problem is they keep saying Bogo Pogo, and I don't know if it's made up or just Australian. It gets bonus points because it has a clear villain and has spectacle because of all the beautiful costumes.
Nothing terrible is going to happen.
The 3rd most Bazzy film that Baz has directed is The Great Gatsby. So shot number 3. Look at these close-ups. There's so many. Baz has delivered on the close-ups. Right out the gate, this is a much Bazzier film because of all of the spectacle. Baz Luhrmann takes a lot of inspiration from the grand opera, and that translates through elaborate costumes and set design. Like this garishly decorated apartment, all of the parties that are thrown at Gatsby's house, and a whole field of flowers that Gatsby moves into Nick's house for tea with Daisy. Okay, here's when we get into the exciting bits, okay? It's when Baz Luhrmann uses the medium of film to his advantage. So Baz Luhrmann uses some of the techniques from French Impressionism, such as double exposure, to indicate, like, a feeling, you know? And here's another one.
Be free to romp like
the mind of God.
I think the most memorable part of The Great Gatsby is the soundtrack. A very Bazzy thing to do is to connect the modern audience to the past. In The Great Gatsby and Moulin Rouge, he does this with music. The viewer that they're... What's in it? Oh shit! I just found a funeral flyer in the pocket of this jacket I got from Goodwill. Oh no! This episode is dedicated to Richard Lavoie Bryan. He lived until 72. That's a good life. I hope you're at peace. So
It's a little bit funny.
So Baz Luhrmann uses the lavish ideals of modern rap and the focus on money and wealth and partying to give us a glimpse into the mindset of the Roaring 20s. I think this is best encapsulated by him mashing up Gershwin with Alicia Keys. In George Gershwin's music, it's like the rumble, the tumble, the bustle of the city, in tandem with Alicia Keys singing about New York, where dreams are made of. It's this music that's beautiful, brilliant optimism for the future that's 100 years apart, but it's the same message. So our kind of theme song for the movie is Young and Beautiful because it reflects the strains on Gatsby and Daisy's relationship, and it is the question, will you still love me?
Jay, stop it!
Right here!
No!
So... Okay, we get extra Baz points because there's dancing, there's a tragic ending, and there's an actor from another movie, aka Leonardo DiCaprio. Honestly, I am Nick Carraway, am I wrong? This is him standing in the rain outside of his own house while Jay and Daisy talk, and then they just ignore him when he comes in. You've been there. And then he's a third wheel again for Tom and Myrtle. But all of the major events of Great Gatsby unfold on Nick's birthday. That man has to be a Cancer. I'm so sure of it.
Get the hell out of here!
So does this mean that Baz Luhrmann predicted the fateful events of 2020 just as F. Scott Fitzgerald predicted the Great Depression? They say old sport 55 times, so if you want a drinking game, there you go. Honestly, guys, I can't believe that Green Light by Lord inspired F. Scott Fitzgerald to write The Great Gatsby. Like, what a legend. Alright, the second Bazziest film that Baz Luhrmann has directed is Romeo and Juliet. So, shot number 4. So off the bat, we have close-ups. Look at them, they're so close. Why is it loud? Oh, I was supposed to silence that. Do you think that Leonardo DiCaprio would be friends with me? Whoa, Romeo, wherever art thou, Romeo? Can you not tell by my Hawaiian shirt that it's Romeo and Juliet? Because it is, and that's why I'm wearing it. I ramble. I was born a rambling man. I'm literally so funny. I wish I were part of the Montague Boys. The boys! They're so cool. This shot's just so iconic. Romeo and Juliet seeing each other through an aquarium. Oh my gosh, because he's getting over Rosalind and there are other fish in the sea. That's not what Baz wanted, but that's what I got. Just look at this shot. So when you design, you kind of come up with a thesis image, and I think this is the one for Romeo and Juliet. It's this over-extravagant floral arrangement, either heightened or cheapened by neon lights. I also completely forgot that Paul Rudd was in this movie. This movie is a prime example of Baz Luhrmann using music to make a point. We see it specifically when the boys' choir sings When Doves Cry. The music for the credits is perfect. It's literally exit music for a film. It's literally like, now they're dead and they're together. So we've got a tragic ending, obviously. We've got dancing, we've got the importance of music, we've got stylized spectacle of a set, and we've got close-ups, baby. And we have our 2 bonus points, a scene where they get high, and an actor from another movie. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously. Alright, the most Bazzy film that Baz Luhrmann has ever directed is Moulin Rouge. So our 5th and final shot. In my opinion, this movie meets all of the Baz Luhrmann requirements. It opens as a film in black and white accompanied by an orchestra, stylized. And look at this double exposure, French Impressionism shit. We got slow motion, and do you see all this spectacle? And it's Bazzy, so we have close-ups. So close. You're so close to the screen. This movie also uses modern music to tie us to a 19th century love.
A wonderful life is.
This is definitely one of my favorite musical moments in film. It is Roxanne. It's so good, and I definitely suggest you watch it. This movie invented spectacle. Spectacle was found dead in a ditch until Baz Luhrmann took it out and said, "Hey, Bam, we're gonna take this town." Bump realism, dudes. The reason I go to the theater and to the movies is to feel something. I want spectacle! Damn it! But this last one is Appropriation, the musical. This movie checks off all of the Baz boxes. There's a tragic ending, spoilers. There's music and dancing and stylized, and there's close-ups. And it also gets our bonus points for a scene where they get high and an actor from another movie. This movie is incredible and very, very Bazzy. Bazzy boy, I love you. So in conclusion, Moulin Rouge is the Bazziest and realism is for the birds. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you disagree with any of my rankings, tell me in the comments and let me know what franchise I should rank next. As always, be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned next week for a new video. Bye!
Monkey.